How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Bill, and welcome back to UFO Files. Hope you had a fantastic Christmas and New Year. It's been absolutely crazy these last couple of days. I've been absolutely no word of a lie, knees and head deep into this UFO footage that we're going to go through today, as well as some very exciting projects that I am working on, and I'll announce them at, excuse me, got hiccups, later on, maybe around the end of the video. But I actually have some really exciting footage and some very eerie and scary footage too from birds that are dropping from the sky, plus a disappearing plane from Chile to Antarctica, as well as this mysterious aircraft dropping fireballs. So without further delay, I hope you're sitting comfortable in your chair, your couch. Let's get into today's video. So our first piece of footage here is a disappearing plane from Chile to Antarctica on the 10th of December. Antarctica, rightly or wrongly, has an absolute plethora of conspiracies that hang heavy around its neck, and its weight is likely to become a little heavier following a disappearance of a military transport plane on its way from the region from Chile. The plane had at least 17 crew members, and a further 21 passengers are remained unaccounted for. Their destination was a military base on King George Island, where they were to provide local support for those based there. Whether they were anything else unknown to the general public remains unknown, and most certainly officials have denied. Of further interest, there was no distress call activated by the pilot, who had extensive experience in the air. Perhaps interestingly enough, and certainly something that which should keep in mind when researching and investigating this incident, is that the stretch of water where the plane is thought to have disappeared, the Drake Passage, it is known to harbour some of the most intense and vicious waters. And while the weather was more than perfect for flying, with more than enough fuel on board, there could be a supernatural element to the disappearance. Incidentally, Chile has at least 9 military bases in and around Antarctica region, with forces make regular journeys there. Might this be a terrible accident, or might there be a conspiracy behind this grim event? This guy also was covered by NBC News, and I'll play a little clip here that I really want you to check out. This is regarding the aircraft, and as well as some information regarding the pilot, as well as the passengers that was on board. So I'll let this play out, and I'll get back to you at the end of this.
Disaster in the skies off Chile after a military transport plane carrying 38 people disappeared overnight while headed from Chile to Antarctica. The aircraft now presumed to have crashed. Officials say the Chilean Air Force plane, a C-130 Hercules similar to this one, was flying to a base in Antarctica, transferring personnel to inspect a floating fuel supply pipeline. The aircraft taking off shortly before 5 p.m. from the southern city of Punta Arenas, more than 1,800 miles from the capital of Santiago, losing contact at 6:13 p.m. and the ocean between the tip of South America and Antarctica. In a statement early Tuesday, the Chilean Air Force said the plane had not been heard from in more than 7 hours and likely would have run out of fuel around 12:40 a.m. A spokesman telling local media a search was underway and a rescue ship was in the general area where the plane should have been when contact was lost. We were talking with the vessel commander via satellite phone, and he said that there were big waves, hard to sail. 17 crew members and 21 other passengers were on board, on their way to perform logistical support tasks, such as repairing the floating oil pipeline that provides fuel for the base. This morning, as the search continues, the mystery grows about a plane that seems to have vanished from the sky.
Tom, anytime something like this happens, one of the first questions is, what was the weather like? So what do we know about the weather conditions when this plane went missing?
Yeah, the Chilean military says the weather was good at the time. Search coordinators believe this plane was a little more than halfway through its 770-mile journey when it disappeared. And by the way, you know, the C-130 is a 4-engine workhorse of the military in the U.S. and around the world. It's been used since 1956. As anybody in the military knows, it transports troops and equipment and cargo. Pretty good safety record overall.
So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think this mysterious disappearance could be. I think it's just a very unfortunate event that the plane somehow maybe crash landed in the middle of the ocean or somewhere, or maybe, just maybe, was this scientific voyage that this plane was on just a little bit more secretive than that the government are letting out. I really would love to know what you think this could be in the comments below. As I said, it's going to Antarctica. It's a cover-up, so to speak. I am trying to dig for more information on this, but it's very like, I guess you could say, just like the government would do, they like to retract information. So I believe, personally, what we're being told is the grainiest of lightest salt on this. And if it comes down to maybe the plane has crash landed, I would like to give my condolences to the families. But personally, I believe there's something behind this that we are just not being told. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think this could be in the comments below. So this second piece of footage here, guys, is fireballs fall from a strange craft over Arizona. Just 2 nights later, in the skies of Mesa in Arizona, an engaged couple, Kerry Burnett and Doug Mailer, were witness to a strange orange glowing object over their homes. And furthermore, this object would appear to drop fireballs in the city below. The couple, despite their awe and surprise, would manage to record several moments of footage of the incident. They would later claim that although it was a cloudy night and it drizzled on and off regular all night, the visibility and conditions from their perspective was relatively good. They could, for example, see the flight path of the nearby airport and had witnessed several other regular flights flying past or overhead. Suddenly, however, a bright orange glowing light captured Kerry's attention, thinking it was a planet or a bright star. It was only when she saw it move that she realized not only that it wasn't either of those things, but that it was a lot closer than she initially believed. She looked at her fiancé to make sure he was also witnessing these strange events. When she returned her focus to the sky above, the first of the fireball-like oars began falling from the main object. These secondary objects would move around for several moments before they had faded out. If it isn't clear if those literally went out, or if the physical travelled to another out-of-sight location. Some who briefly examined the case would point out how the region surrounding the location was absolutely awash with military bases. However, the witness would reject such notions that they might have witnessed was an Albent class designed military aircraft. They would, for example, point to the complete lack of noises, navigation lights, which the witness would state was an FAA rule, and that even the military have navigation lights on. Here is the video.
A mysterious light hovering over the valley, giving a few folks in Mesa quite the thrill, but explaining what you're seeing on your screen, that is a little bit more difficult. ABC 15's Cameron Polam is on the hunt for answers tonight.
It was about straight up over here, and it went straight that way.
Stopped. From outside their Mesa home, DJ Mayer and Kerry Burnett shot this video Sunday around 9 p.m.
And it started kind of moving diagonal across, trying to figure out which way it was heading. And as it did, that's when we noticed it started dropping things from it.
The object, captured on 2 cell phones, looks like a bright orb hovering silently in the sky every few moments, dropping what looks to be flares towards the ground.
And it wasn't just us. Our neighbors next door, they were out. They weren't even filming. They were more in amazement, like statues just sitting there watching it.
DJ immediately posted the video to Facebook, and the comments rolled in, but none had an explanation for what they were seeing.
Finally, the aliens are here. Wow, that's crazy.
The entire event harkens back to 1997 and the mysterious Phoenix Lights, one that remains in hot debate even today. We reached out to several aviation experts who theorized the lights seen Sunday could be from parachute flares used by the military, or even helicopters or other aircraft dropping flares during training. In fact, the outlaw military operations area sits not far from where the video was shot, but video found online for those types of exercises just doesn't seem to match.
I really don't know what this could be. Like maybe some government black project, and if so, then what would those fireballs / flares that are being dropped onto the ground with a radical movement, what do you think they could be? Maybe a new test of flares? Or I really don't know, and I would love to know what you think this could be in the comments below. Let's move on, guys, to our last piece of footage. So this one is a little bit different from the 2 UFO and, well, the 2 pieces of footage that we've gone through. So this here is a mysterious bird birds, should I say, as a plural, as there's multiple, birds dropped dead in Anglesey. In between the disappearing plane and the fireball incident in Arizona, a rather bizarre amorous incident would unfold in Anglesey in Wales in the United Kingdom. Please let me know if I'm pronouncing that right, by the way. Approximately 300 birds, give or take, simply landed on the road and approximately died. And while this certainly doesn't make the incident an automatic UFO case, or even a paranormal one, there are several similarities incidents that have shared connections to the UFO activity or a UFO-influenced electromagnetic anomalies. Witnesses would then state that I've seen birds, a huge flock of hundreds, flying over before landing in a road in Llyn-Llechen, Borden. At around 3:30 p.m, one witness, Hannah Stevens, would claim that the flock was eating something in the road after landing. Around half hour later, all 300 flock of birds were dead where they had landed. Other witness would claim there were easily over 300 of dead birds, and that he had stopped counting at 150, as there are just hundreds of them, literally thousands everywhere. The police equally baffled as just what caused both the bizarre mass landing and the apparent imminent death that occurred shortly after. Furthermore, the police would also disclose that as a result of the investigations, not only had they uncovered other cases from around the world, but at least an other almost identical incident had occurred in almost the same place. Might this bizarre behaviour of the birds be down to some sort of strange aerial anomaly, or might it be most likely that the incident is due to apparent ley lines that run across the United Kingdom and around the world? And if so, what caused such a release of energy that it resulted in the death of hundreds of birds? As I mentioned before, guys, I have no idea what to think of this incident, as this is not the only incident or the similar incident that happened like this, of birds just landing and just of birds falling from the sky and just dying in 2019. There's numerous, and I mean numerous, instances of this happening from around the world. And I would love to know what you think this could be. Maybe it's some sort of something with the ley lines. Maybe, as it goes to say here, it's apparent ley lines that run across the United Kingdom or around the world. Or maybe it's something otherworldly that we cannot see. Either way, it's a very eerie and scary incident. Our animals, our crops. What else could be next? I'll leave my speculation and my book open to you. As always, guys, this video has taken me a little bit longer than expected to put together, and I'm sorry it's taken me a little bit longer to get all this other awesome projects I'm working on. One which is Project Blue Book, the origins of there, as well as the Project Blue Beam, the origins of that. Lots of amazing stuff. As well, I'm doing the Roswell disaster and what the government don't want you to know. So if those projects sound exciting and you're looking forward to them, please make sure to drop a like and a subscribe on the way out. Make sure to smack that notification bell to get notified when I upload. I am going to try to upload a lot more. It's very difficult to do, as I try to make sure my videos are information packed, as well as I try to be the best as they possibly can be. As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you in just a little bit.
Alright, kick back, relax, and grab yourself a beverage. A hop if you wanna just bounce to my leverage. The evidence, as they say, is in the pudding. So show me the money like my name was Cuba Gooding. It ain't fools.